Good afternoon, guys. I guess it is afternoon, 1:24 p.m. on, gosh, I think it's a Thursday. Beautiful, sunny Southern California. And I wanted to give you guys a little garage update. There's been some changes and there's some upcoming changes, and I kind of wanted to go through them and get your opinion on a few things in the comments. And kind of go through the bikes one by one. I haven't done a lot of videos on these bikes yet, but I intend to, and there's some videos that have been done but not posted. It's a struggle to try to kind of keep up with all the content, honestly, that I film with the bike, so editing it is kind of a pain, and I'm not the best YouTuber, as you know. So this is my 2019 KTM 390 Duke. Okay, so of all these bikes, the bike I reach for the most is this one. And the reason is, it's just a super fun bike to zip around town. This, if you recall, replaced my Honda Grom, and it's just it's an actual motorcycle for one, where the Grom really wasn't. And it's just a pleasure to ride around town. And it has this really awesome storage bag that expands really big. I actually carried a birthday cake home with it one time. And it's just a super functional bike for getting around town, and I absolutely love it. Not a lot of power, but it doesn't need it. One of the things I'm thinking of doing, and you guys can let me know if you've done it, is changing the gearing on this. Maybe going one tooth down in the front and two in the back, or three in the back, or a combination. Not sure yet, but that's definitely in the works. But other than that, I don't want to do any more mods to it. I like the fact that this bike is really quiet because, again, this is my kind of utility bike. I zip around town with it. I go to the post office, the bank, that sort of thing, run down to the office. And it's just nice to have a nice quiet bike that zips around, fits everywhere, and it's like super quick, and I can lean the hell out of this thing without worrying about it. I just absolutely love this bike. Can't say enough about it. So, it's just been such a pleasure to ride around. Next is my KTM 690 SMCR. This is the Supermoto bike that's pretty much the same bike as the Husqvarna 701. I do like this bike a lot. It's been a bit of a disappointment for me, to be honest with you, and I'm kind of trying to reconcile with that. Reading the reviews on this bike and talking to all these people, you would think this is a really powerful bike. And it just falls short of that, okay? So I would not call this a powerful bike. Yes, you can get the front end up if you really kind of get your technique up. But first thing you need to do is change the gearing, which I have done now. I'm at 1545. That helped quite a bit. I really love that mod. In fact, if you own one of these and you haven't done that mod, I can tell you, you will not have any regrets. First thing it will do is it will, help you pick up the front end a lot quicker. Power wheelies become like a thing you can now do very easily. And the other thing that it will do, which I thought was really awkward about this bike, is it makes the sixth gear usable. Before, the fifth and sixth, even 4, 5, and 6 were pretty similar, but there was really no difference between 5 and 6 at all. And now I use the sixth gear to hit my top speed on the freeway, and I can easily hit like 105 or so with this bike. I weigh about 200 pounds, so just a little over. I haven't done any other mods to it other than the gearing and also the fuel dongle. That's it. So essentially the fuel dongle eliminates the oxygen sensor, which supposedly is something you want to do, but I haven't noticed any difference doing that. So if you're thinking of doing it, I probably wouldn't. The other thing that I've done is I've opened up the air filter intake a little bit, and I can show you that in a different video. But the exhaust is still the same, no power commander, nothing like that. Now, a power commander would probably, the bike would benefit from that quite a bit, I believe. Because you can just tell this thing has more power to give, and it just isn't there. Next is my custom-made Harley Davidson Night Rod V-Rod edition. This was designed and made by Devin Diego Designs out of Las Vegas. It's one of my favorite things that I own, not just favorite bikes. It's definitely not a comfortable bike. It's definitely not a bike you want to take on long rides, but it's such a showstopper. It's this beautiful bike. I have a separate video on this too, actually. that you can check out. It's got air suspension, Acropoffit exhaust, and performance machine components. Absolutely beautiful components. The bike's really dusty and dirty, as you can see. I haven't taken it out in a little while, so today it's just kind of get all the bikes out, dust them off, and whatnot. Now, this is a bike you haven't seen in my garage before. This is the first time I've got it on video. This is my 2016 MV Agusta Turismo Veloce 800. That's a lot of words for saying that it's a touring bike. And it's kind of a touring bike, right? This bike would have come optioned with pannier side bags, which this one hadn't come optioned with, which is a real shame because this is a very comfortable bike. I could see myself going very long, nice touring distances with this. But without those bags, it kind of falls short of that. So I've been looking for those bags, but believe it or not, to get those bags for this bike, you have to order them from Italy, and you're talking about $1,800 to $2,000 to get them. So I've been looking for other options, and this is the bike so there's two things that I wanted to ask your opinion on. Either I can go and get this bike fitted with some aftermarket bags, or maybe just strap a duffel to the back of it, get a bigger touring screen from Pug, and it has this absolutely sick exhaust and let's see, and some custom suspension parts, as you can see, and a custom spring, and a lot of kind of custom pieces that are like very tastefully done. This HP Corsa Evo Extreme exhaust sounds really good, but it is pretty loud and honestly kind of obnoxious. So I put the baffle in, and it's still a bit obnoxious. And I'll tell you when it's obnoxious. It's not obnoxious when it's in idle. Even when you're getting on it, it's not obnoxious. It's when you let off the accelerator where, you get that kind of gargle effect. And I don't dig that. Love these wheels. Some of the sickest wheels out there. Single-sided swing arm, obviously. This is kind of that beautiful angle that you see on the Turismo Veloce, and it's a beautiful bike all around. And I intend to do some videos with this. But so my other option is, again, one option is to turn this into a proper touring bike. The other option is, look, I could sell it and maybe pick up a Triumph Tiger or something similar to that. Now, the reason I don't want to go like the Africa Twin route is I'm just not going to do that much off-road. I'm going to be like 80-20. And I want something that's kind of more geared for the street. And don't tell me about the BMW. I'm not really interested. But it's kind of between this or switch over to maybe a Tenere or a Tiger, or tell me, what do you think? Anyway, this beauty here is my Kawasaki Z900. It's a 2017. And it's still one of my favorite bikes. It's my fastest bike here, believe it or not. This is a super fast bike, and I've done some mods to it that have made it a lot faster. It's got the power commander, it's got full headers, and this beautiful kind of minimalistic exhaust setup. Wow, it is hot just touching the seat on the Honda. And super clean lines. I just love how the exhaust just disappears. And again, this bike is super dusty too. Got to clean that up today, hopefully. Not going to get rid of this bike. It sounds amazing. It runs amazing. It's fast as heck. It's a very fun bike to ride. And it's also very functional. I can run errands on this too, and I really like that. And if I'm going canyon carving or whatever, that's pretty much the bike I would take if I need more speed. If I don't, I'll probably take the 390 Duke or the 690. And then finally, my beautiful condition, like amazing condition, 1991 Honda CB750 Nighthawk with just over 3,000 miles on it. I'm just not getting to ride this bike very much, and I feel like it's a real shame. It doesn't even have any patina on it. The paint's in great shape except for this one spot that really lets it down, and a tiny little spot in the back. that both of those can be painted relatively easily. There's no dents or anything like that. It's in beautiful shape. Look at like the shape of these wheels. There's just not a spot on it. It's always been garaged. It's got a little dust on it now because just it's been sitting in the garage and collecting dust a little bit. But yeah, it's in beautiful shape. Really cool custom, not custom, but the custom painted rifle windscreen in the front. Custom match to the paint. Absolutely beautiful. So my plan for this bike, unfortunately, I think, and I could use your opinion again, so I'm thinking of putting this up for sale, having it go to a good home. And since it's such a great condition, I'm considering putting it on Bring a Trailer. Hopefully they'll take the listing. Sometimes they're just very unresponsive and they're super busy these days, so you don't hear back from them. But yeah, everything has been gone through on this bike. It's in perfect condition. Just had the forks rebuilt, carburetors rebuilt. There's 4 carbs on this bike, as you know. Yeah, it's been gone through and it's in mint condition. In fact, I mean, you know about these carburetor bikes and starting up. I'll just give it maybe halfway choke just to make sure. Look at that. No choke necessary. Up and running beautifully. And while we're at it, I told you that my Z sounds amazing. Now I'm wearing a lapel mic, so you may not hear it that well. Yeah, that's the best sound in the world. And since I complained about the sound of the Turismo Veloce, I keep wanting to call it a Super Veloce because that is one of my favorite bikes, but it's not that. Scaring all the birds away. And you've heard these bikes. I got videos of them. So yeah, let me know what you think about the trade on the Turismo Veloce, and possibly putting this beauty up for sale on Bring a Trailer. And if you got any tips about how to really get through to Bring a Trailer, I'd love to hear it from you. Again, this is a mint condition bike for the most part, except for that little ding, which is a big deal. I know. And I'm not the kind of guy to put stickers on his bike. Seen a lot of you do that recently, and not cool. Don't. Here's one lesson I've learned listening or reading a lot of Facebook posts recently on bike groups. Don't ever trust a used bike with stickers on it, guys. That just basically means the guy didn't want to pay to get the repair done, and that's a really bad sign. Don't trust stickers. They're there for a reason. Nobody puts stickers on their bike unless something's wrong. Anyway, guys, that's the garage update, and would love to hear your feedback. And if you got any other ideas on good touring bikes that kind of fit that bill, that 80-20, even let's say 90-10, 90 on road and 10% off. And I'm not talking about anything crazy, nothing that would require like full dirt gear. I'd love to hear about it. And I know there's some really great deals on the just previous generation Triumph Tiger right now. The newest generation seems to be like kind of pricey, and they're not budging on the prices on those. So I don't know. And then this is an awesome bike. I could just switch back to the original exhaust on this bike, which you can find relatively cheap used. And then call it a day. Maybe I'll be good with that. Change the screen for like $150 and get some bags. And then I'm probably looking at a bike that'll be just as incredible as the Triumph Tiger, and except it'll look a lot nicer. I mean, look at this thing. It's such a beauty. Let's get a closer look at it. Well, I plan to do some photos of this today in case I decide to list it. Cool. Well, we're coming up on 15 minutes, and I'm going to cut it short here. Have a good rest of your day. Click that subscribe button to find out what happens, and I would love to hear your comments. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in.